So controller is working, I can confirm. So I'm gonna hit continue. And I do actually want to talk about the controller a little bit. I used the Elite Series 2, which I thought was a little expensive when you can just plug in a PlayStation 4 controller. This is literally a PlayStation 4 game that they ported over. And I wanted to kind of get a controller I could use for a lot of games. So I ended up buying this one, and I'm actually quite happy with it. I mean, there's a million reviews online, so I'm not going to go over it, but you can pull off the buttons, and they're attached magnetically, so they don't slip off. But what that does is allows you to try different kinds with more grip, less grip. If you're playing a lot of like fast, kind of twitchy fighting games, you know, you're gonna want something that has some grip. At the same time, if you're playing for a long time, you're probably not going to want one with too much grip because you're going to tear up your thumb skin. That's a real problem. Old school gamers remember that. And I'm just getting used to managing, excuse me for my nose itching here. No, this is a little unprofessional. I did a test run yesterday to work out some of the technical issues, which didn't seem to actually help with the technical issues. Now I have way too many wires. This is why I love my wireless controller that for some reason I have to plug in right now for this to work. So this is where you start, literally where you start. And what I enjoyed about playing this game on hard is up until about, for me at least, as someone who's not a huge gamer and just getting back into things, up until about level 30, hard was genuinely hard. This is a game where you can only save at campfires. The campfires are everywhere, though. It's not like Dark Souls or anything. But the idea of walking too far away from a save point in this game was actually quite intimidating. Everywhere you went, you were just attacked constantly. Now, there is a Frozen Wilds, as you can see, I got all the collectibles. Frozen Wilds expansion, that's what this whole area is. Here's what I would say. This would be my advice to anybody who asks a question. And I did Google this, and I got kind of various answers, and I think I'm happy with the way I did it, which is you could go to the Frozen Wilds pretty much any time before the final mission. Highly recommend playing on hard. Definitely recommend doing the expansion. Based on the way the story is going, I would find it a little odd to do the expansion after the main quest. The main quest is that you're going to kind of stop the evil machines. As I mentioned before, the game feeling difficult all the way up until level 30. What I was going to say about the expansion is I ended up not getting to the expansion until I was like level 50 or something. I basically have every skill maxed out. There's a skill tree, and it was hard all over again. So that was kind of a nice surprise. I was thinking I was getting to that point in the game where you feel a little overpowered, as a lot of games get. It's a difficult balance. You have to feel rewarded for all your achievements. So if the game is the same difficulty, then what did you really accomplish? The crafting's actually, I'll show you just briefly. When you pull up the weapon wheel, get out of the way. Okay, anyways, you see where it says pressed A to craft? You can't really see that.
Look, I'll give you a good price.
There we go. So it says press A to craft. That's how you craft. So, you know, here we go. I'll craft this.
Well traveled? Yes.
Okay, stop talking to me.
I would like to talk to you.
Oh, look at that. She's out of breath. That's me lately. That's me running around since the pandemic. I just realized I don't have a mute button. I should probably hotkey that.
Otherwise, I've made the apartment of Olin Delverson available to you. You can sleep there, if sleep comes.
That guy looks like Fred Armisen from SNL days. That is spot on. Shout out to Bobby Bad News. loot. Something I learned in this game, always be looting.
I can't spare the weight.
I'm out of space. Oh, I don't know about this snake.
See? That'll knock a machine on its ass.
Put
Ancient or
myself
no.
up. On the quick key down there, there's that green plus. So the red herbs fill up your ability to kind of quick heal. Call it your medicine pouch, but it's the every time you're in combat, push it real quick button. The Banuk are the coolest people in this game. They exist in the Frozen Wilds DLC, which is a very intense area with very challenging enemies, and the native people that live there are actually amazing fighters, so it totally fits. Most of the early NPCs that help you out in fights die immediately, and if they're unkillable, they get knocked out immediately, and it's like, why are they even here? They're not even a distraction, because as the protagonist, the enemies always go after me. But when you're in the Frozen Wild DLCs,
Talana.
the Banuk actually help you fight and legitimately help. The Hunter's Lodge quest series started really strong and interesting, and once you get to kind of a certain point, it just, like, the resolution, it felt rather unsatisfying.
Where do they put the Vanguard?
At the front.
At the front of the line!
Oh, achievement unlocked. I'm in the way. This reminds me like the scene of Last of Us 2.
Aloy, go! We'll draw them.
Oh, okay.
Now you face their true sun, shadow demons.
You sure? You guys got this? Alright. Oh. This is not good.
Knew this wouldn't be easy.
This is a modern
Holding back.
climbing game though, so you just hold up. Am I missing something? How do I get over there? Oh. A little bit of a doobie-doobie-dum-dum there.
Arrival of Entity has been anticipated. Entity will not halt transmission.
An entity. Ooh, wow, that is so loud. Oh, that's in the game? That's a new sound. New strategy. I'm going to use the fire blaster, and I'm going to get up close. I didn't realize the timer was going. This is probably the first time in the whole game there's ever been a timer.
Back down now.
I know. So... Oh, I cannot craft any more of that. Oh, I've never ran out of crafting materials before. Huh.
That's it.
Just in case, just destroy it anyways. Just pick it apart, use it for parts. So we'll say the final mission is that battle there was a good solid battle for this game, but still not as hard as the first time you fight that same machine. A lot of the game revolves around, at least in the end, what is life and the value of life. So those of you who are not big fans of the AIs and machines taking over, this is also a cautionary tale. In the end, though, however, it's an AI that saves us humans. It's also Aloy. Final thoughts, review of the game. I would say it's definitely worth playing. For sure, great storyline, very open world, so you can, I would personally recommend getting far enough in the storyline that you open up access to, which would be Meridian, but that would give you access to the rest of the world as well by the time you get there in the storyline. That's kind of the major city that you have access to. After you progress enough in the storyline to understand all the AIs involved in what's going on in the world, then go to Frozen the Frozen Wilds DLC. Complete that before you end the game. If, however, you get to the Frozen Wilds DLC before kind of the end of the game, and you get out there as soon as you can, some of the things might not make as much sense in terms of the AI that you're dealing with and that you're fighting, but you get some major improvements to your weapons and your bows, your ammo type, your modifications, which increase damage and other damage protection. You also get access to an upgrade to your staff, which is your only melee weapon. You have a single staff, but I would have been interested in having the ability to upgrade that staff immediately. Melee combat is very much not part of the game. There are some perks and some skills that increase its effectiveness, but you could tell they did not design the game around you're going to be a large melee character, which should, in my opinion, be a valid playthrough. So that might be a criticism, is until the very end, melee is quite difficult. And that's also playing on hard. If you're playing on normal or like story mode, maybe melee is a more realistic option. It's not until the very end where you actually start hitting with as much as a basic arrow. Meanwhile, you have access to arrows and bombs and slings that do hundreds of damage if you hit them in the right spot. And that's just never true for melee. Okay, we are going to skip. Oh, here we go. There's an end.
So much you never revealed. Your masters, for example. The ones who sent the signal that woke you. Knowledge has its rewards, don't you think? Well, let's begin.
Thanks for playing. I have to think about it. I think I'm going to move on to another game. But this is the kind of game that if I had just a little bit more time, I would want to discover every little thing. I think I'm going to give this one a rest. If you were the kind of person that really likes to 100% a game, I think this game is probably worth your time. So, thanks for joining. This is my first stream. Speak of the Joker. It ended an hour earlier than I thought it would. But I do appreciate those of you who joined me. Thanks a lot.